Hey folks, Brad here for Weez and Geezer TV. Weez and Geezer TV is brought to you by nobody. I don't have any sponsors, sure could use some subscribers, and that's where you come in. Now, just finishing up my morning chores. I've been meaning to get this done for about 2 days, I guess now. And this is not what our project for the day is. I'm just showing you what I... You know, it's like when you're out on the farm, when you go to a farmer's house, you don't necessarily see him at the house. You might see him down at the shop doing what he's doing for the day. And I had to get this stone warehouse done for free stone because I just get tired of hauling it down to the damn house, and I don't want to throw it all away if people can come and get it, get some free stone. But anyway, let's get to the crux of the biscuit. Here's what we're doing. Let's get over to Weez Laboratories. House there. Anyway, what I got going on in the lab is we've currently got 7 different stations set up, and they're all set up so the lights go on up out here. But I also have them set up kind of in this little test lab over here where I can kind of close it off and you know, get more darkness, because we don't have any light. Now, what I'm doing, I guess I should explain that, is that a lot of people have the same problem with lights automatically coming on from a solar panel. All of my solar panels will be facing directly north, because that's where you get the most sunlight during the day and lasts longer than any others. And I currently have a video that is currently rendering right now that will prove that. But anyway, just wanted to show you that it's all fair and equal. They're all the same, exactly laid out the same. But a lot of people, when you talk about lights coming on automatically, will have the same complaint, and that is that they come on a little too late, a little later than you'd like, and turn off a little sooner than you'd like. And so I've come up with what I consider to be a good fix for that. And all of these stations will come on at different times. Well, how late are we getting? We still should be good for another hour or so, game time. Each of these stations will come on at different times, yet they're still automatic. This one down here being when your lights would normally come on. There's no adjustment or no changes to it whatsoever. This is with my modification. This is with my modification plus 2, modification plus 4, modification plus 6, 8, and plus 10, which makes that a 12, because the modification is 2. What I'm doing is you're taking your amount of light that you're getting at night, which is from here to here, and you're saying that it comes on a little bit too late at night, turns off a little too early in the morning. And what I'm doing is I'm stretching those out a little bit, and a little bit further, a little bit further, to where total daylight still when it turns on, and it's actual daylight when it turns off. Anyway, if that sounds good to you, and you like what you're hearing, before you leave, be sure and hit that like button down there. It sure helps a lot in search engines and stuff when people are looking for this kind of information, because I'm going to show you that these lights will all come on at different times. And what we're doing is we're lengthening the amount of light that it provides at night automatically. That's the key, isn't it? You still want your automatic lights, but you sure wish they'd come on just a little bit earlier, stay on just a little bit later. Now, my personal favorite, because I have tested this, I just haven't done it on film, I really like the one dead center. That's my dog. Now, if it isn't, it might be this one down here, but I go with this to be more safe and just say that most people will gladly accept this because it comes on at a good time where it's still just a little too early. Nothing wrong with too early, huh? Better than too late. And stays on a little bit long. But it's a good fix. You could go with this one here. But this will be normal. This will be my modification, which is 2, adding 2. What we're doing is we're taking power away, or making the solar panel register less. I don't want to show you what I'm doing yet. That would just be jumping the gun. You know, those of you that just want to skip to the end and try to figure this thing out or whatever, that's fine. But I think a lot of you actually want to see the test, the times that they come on, because I'm going to record them here live. Sometimes I don't catch exactly what it is, like the time, because I'll be looking at something. But trust me, when I go back through editing and stuff, I look at the moment that light comes on, the very second, and I pause it, and I'll be sure to get all the times correct. I do that on all my videos. I'll go back through and adjust things according to the amount of time, you know, that came off, that I didn't check something, to make it all fair and equal. But it is, we still got a couple of hours, or we still got an hour. But this lights down here should actually start coming on pretty soon, because they're set to come on when it's, you know, really daylight. But the reason I'm doing it in this room is so that you can kind of see how dark it is on the walls, not necessarily in the stalls. But I think those are going to come on. They're going to start coming on about 18:20. So we got about an hour on the game time clock there. They may come on a little early. The time fluctuates a little bit, but the span between them will all stay about the same. So if you don't like how your automatic lights are working, because they're not coming on when you'd like them to come on a little earlier and stay on a little later, this is the fix for you. I'm just actually waiting for them to come on here. I'll, of course, edit, fade. Should have lights real soon here. Now, it's either during the evening or it's during the morning. I don't remember which, but it's more dramatic. That one went on 1822. Like I said, it was going to come on about 8. I had 1821 on my earlier test. 1822, and you'll see the increments as they go down. And what I'm really focusing on is the wall to the right. You know, like how dark it is in your base. We're just going to put the times down that the lights come on. That is 1838. And again, we'll record what time they go off in the morning. As you can see, it looks to be getting a little bit darker. This one should be about 1850, a little bit more right in there. And we have 1851. The next one should be about 1902 or 1903. And it is my choice. Just because I want to ensure that I have daylight. And I want to ensure that it's on early. And that is 1903. Expecting the next one around 1917 or so. See, I'm adjusting in my head because it was 1914 to me, and it seems like these are about 3 seconds off today. So, oh, it was 1914. The next one I'm going to do at 1928. But you can see how dark it is. It's not all that dark. This is just to ensure that you have lights. See, like if you were doing something, it would already be getting kind of dark. in your base and you're going, God, I wish my lights were on, but they're not. And that light just came on about 1930. I will recheck that. And the last one down there, you can see how dark it's getting. The last one is how your lights are probably set now. And it just came on at 1947. So that's how dark it would be in your base. The wall on the right, how it's kind of fading away. And that's your complaint, and I understand it because that's the way it has been in my house too. But you can see that I've been able to adjust that so that I can choose where it's going to come on. And personally, I like, somewhere in the middle. You can see it's just too close to darkness here. Boom. And we're going to get the same thing in the morning. So if that's intriguing and you're liking what you see, be sure and hit that like button, man. You're really going to help me out. And that's what I'm trying to do, is help you out. I mean, I'm not keeping this information to myself. I'm not just sharing it with my friends. This is information that I think everybody that plays Rust needs to know. Why? Because I'm not seeing this information from other people. I didn't get the solution from somewhere else and just passing it on. I've been thinking about it for a while. What would I do? So anyway, I'm going to share all that with you in the end here. But I'm sure that you're liking what you see. And in a minute, after I cut away from here, we are going to do the morning run. And I found that nights around here last about 10 or 11 minutes. I'm not sure exactly. I will test that eventually. But look how dark this is in here. I mean, it didn't take no time at all. I mean, granted, this is after the fact and a little bit. But it got dark like really fast. And this is what normal was. And I'm really liking somewhere in the middle. But the idea is not what I like. It's giving you a solution to the problem. So we'll be back in the morning to see how they progressively go off. Okay, it is still dark 30, middle of the morning or early morning. I'm going to kind of explain to you what I'm doing real quick, and then we'll see the morning results, and I'll come up with a tally. It is starting to get light out there, so I got to hurry. Should be good till about 7:40. This is the normal setup that you would have at your house, supposedly. The wire coming down from the left side there is from the solar panel to be your blocker. I do need to get in the room to do the test. It needs to be open. Open says me. So anyway, I guess I'll show you in a minute, because we need to be ready. And you can see how it's starting to lighten up. And the normal light will be the first one to go off. We need to be ready to back out some times, though. At least as far as how they came through in this test. I'm thinking around 7:40, give or take about 3. But it's still pretty dark. You wouldn't want your lights to go out this early. Okay, 7:48. My modification. Now you can see this is nice and light here. So yeah, even that one there is good modification. And that was 818. We'll go with that at least. Pretty good. I'm just showing you all of these as examples because they're examples of it getting wider and wider. 834. You can see it's plenty light. This is just showing you how you can get your lights all through the night. $848. See, I don't even like these last two down here. I mean, they just stay on too long. But again, if your problem is not having lights all through the night, you can set for any one of these numbers. In a moment, I'll show you how it's done. So that we'll call 9 o'clock exactly. Looks pretty good to me. Test at 912 should be within 2 to 3-4 seconds of that probably. See, time slows down during the day, so it's kind of weird. So it would be a longer span. I don't know how that reflects on battery time though. Should be any second now. Okay, we're gonna go 918. But that last one needs a really high number for that blocker to get kicked in order for it to stop the power. So, did you find that intriguing? Does it kind of help you a little bit? We're going to go show you how it's done. Like I said, this is your normal setup. Like I'm doing the minimalist setup that is what I did in one of my earlier videos, where you use 2 solar panels to power or to charge a large battery that can run like 48 lights. And this is what I'm doing here. From the right side over here, you can see the line coming down. That'll be my 2 solar panels into a combiner coming down here into the branch. The branch is already configured. You don't have to do anything. It's already configured for 2, which is what it normally comes with out of the box. So we're not configuring because we don't want to take any power away from it. It all goes to recharge. Comes out the right side, which is power, and goes to the battery in. Now, before you hook up, I'm just going to run through the setup before I can tell you what I'm doing, I guess, because for some people, they may be a little confused on their electrical setup, and I'm just going to give it a quick explanation what's going on here. And that is on the right side over here, or the left side over here. That is the single solar panel, because we got 2 solar panels we're using for power. We're using a third one, all facing directly north, for the on-off switch. And we're coming down here and going through the switch, and we don't really need to, but in the way I do my other setup, that's the way I do it, and so we're using it. But it comes down there, and then goes through to the side of the blocker, or you can just come right down to the side of the blocker. Either way is just fine. And what we're doing, because it goes into the, power comes out from the battery up to the blocker. It's this line here that blocks power from going out. When this loses power, the electricity will go out to the light. And that's your normal setup. What I'm doing is, from the solar panel switch, in this case it comes from the bottom, comes from across down here. Before it goes into the switch, it goes into another electrical branch. And this one, again, like this one, is not, you don't configure it. You just leave it right the way it is out of the box. This is option that was right next to the normal one. So it was a few seconds later, it's because I put in this branch. Now again, you're coming from the power side into your switch, or just straight to the side of your blocker. Now again, the next one, I'm doing the same thing. This is that solar panel that you're using as a switch, coming into the electrical branch. This one you do configure. We got it configured for 4. See, configured for 4. So what we're doing, we're making it so that it needs a higher number to register. Everything below the number that we've got it programmed for is registered as 0 and keeps the blocker closed, which is how we're elongating our span. So this one, that was the first one, is what it comes with out of the box. That's 2. This one is 4. The next one is 6. The next one is 8. The next one is 12, or 10, and then 12. Okay. Now a branch is going to take 3 units of power, because it's automatically configured for 2, and it automatically uses 1. Okay. So from here to the switch, it uses 1. From the switch to this, it uses 1. Now if you don't have a switch, then your timings will be off a little bit different than mine, but only by 1. Instead of being odd numbers, it'll be like even numbers that your lights are coming on. So again, this one is configured for 4. So that's 4 plus the 1 here, that's 5, that's 6, that's 7, which means it's effectively going to have to, the solar panel is going to have to register an 8 before it registers anything. A 7 is still 0. Okay? So if I went back to this one, it's normally configured for 2, plus 1, that's 3, that's 4, coming into the side there, that's 5. Effectively, the solar panel has to reach a 6. So in that first early morning light, when it hits it from the side, now all of my solar panels face north. You're going east on that thing, that's also going to cause your shit to come on a little earlier, and it's going to be strong power, and you have to have a bigger number, and it's just horrid. So leave them facing directly north. Even your switch here. So what we're doing here, because it's the first one, that's 2, 3, that's 4, that's 5. Effectively, it has to be a 6 or higher for the solar panel to effectively unblock this. Here, it's going to be exactly the same, but 2 digits higher, because we went 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, and 12. So that's 4, 5, 6, 7. Effectively, it has to be an 8 or higher to make this go off. Same thing in the morning, or at night. In the morning, see, or at night, I mean, because that isn't talking about morning. In the night, when it would normally wait until it's kind of dark to shut itself off, it's shutting itself, or it's turning on the lights earlier, because we're effectively changing the number on the solar panel. So as the light is coming down from like 19, and then your solar's down to like 16 and down to 14, well, when it gets down to 7, which it would still be blocking, we're saying effectively it's a 0 and the lights come on. So all we're doing is changing the trigger time based on how much power we're inputting to send away. And we're sending it away to nowhere. I mean, I could hook that up to here and you'll just see that how much is going there, but we're not sending it anywhere. We're just configuring it so it automatically is allocating that power to the branch side. We're not using it. So effectively, whatever's left, so it has to be a higher number than that, because we're going to be sending 4 of it over there. Plus it uses 1, so it has to be higher than 5, which makes it has to be a 6, 7, 8. Same thing here, same thing here, same thing here. And as we go down, we get down here, and you'll see it's configured for 12. So that's 12, that's 13, 14, that's 15. Effectively, this light will go on as it's getting dark. When it reaches 16, I think we're good. I think it's when it reaches 15, that's when the lights come on. Opposite effect in the morning. That's why its span is the longest. So that is your fix. If you liked one of those earlier ones, like I say, just putting this in alone, you're taking away 3, 4, 5. It has to effectively be a 6, whereas here it has to effectively be let's see how much we got coming out of there. Let's see, that would be well, it won't come off until it's a 0, until it reaches 0, which would be at a 1, because you're using 1 here. Actually, a 2, I think it would have to be. So effectively, a 3 or higher is going to cause your lights to come on automatically. Whereas over here, it has to be at least a 6. And here it has to be at least an 8. Is that correct? Yeah, at least an 8. This has to be at least 10. This has to be at least 12. This has to be at least a 14. This has to be at least a 16. So, basically, if you're just having that problem, you'd like just a little bit more, and you don't understand any of that, where you're putting in your switch from your solar panel, probably just straight to the side of the blocker without the switch. Put one of these in first, and then come from your solar panel to this, and from this to your side of your blocker, if you're not using a switch. Do the same thing, just do that. And that will adjust out your time fairly significantly, just doing that. And if you understood more than that, great. Configure it for a higher number, or however far you want to span that out. But again, you also have to have the battery supply, energy or whatever, to be able to sustain that. So anyway, I hope that helps. I hope you use that little fix. If you like what you hear, hit that like button. If you think you're going to use it, man, I'm going to go in game and try that. Hit that like button. I sure appreciate it. Anyway, problem solved. We'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.